Hello and welcome back to SML Total Access. I'm Primetime 000, joined by, drum roll, the only man here to help me out today, which is Matt. What's going on, dude?
Hey man, somebody said Tiny was going to make the playoffs about a week
Ah!
ago, and he's in the playoffs. Who was that?
You know, it's funny. They said Prime's coaching, it only lasts a season. Well, guess what? Look what it's done now. Tiny's in the
Yeah,
playoffs. So,
absolutely.
hey, first down. This is debated a lot, I think, and it gets brought up towards the end of the cycle. Do last seasons matter? Does the Simbardi matter as much? Typically, guys are in the summertime. They're a little more checked out. You know, Madden's kind of ran its course. Whether there's blips, whether there's they're on their summer family vacations, whatever. It seems like throughout the regular season, there's more games getting simmed, stuff like that. What do you think? Do you think it matters as much?
Yeah, I think this is a really good topic because what? It's July 14th. I think early access is a month away. I think it drops August 14th for Madden
Wow.
24.
Yep.
We are in week 18 as of this recording. So there's going to be a little bit of a lull between the Super Bowl and when Madden 24 releases. And so we got to talk about something. And I think as the playoffs go on and people start losing, there might be a little bit of talk about it. It's the last season. Who really cares? Everyone was getting force wins anyway. But it matters. This is the SML. Like I've said this many times. You didn't drop a bombshell. Hey guys, we're going to be playing through the summer. When you sign up for this league, you know you're going Madden to Madden release. And ask Tiny, who just made the playoffs, if this season matters. Ask Colt, who just made the playoffs if this season. Ask Strawblacks, who has bounced back and is sitting in the 4 seed and is looking to make his name going into Madden 24. Ask him if this matters. Look, it's a Super Bowl. Meats is going to put it in the record book. You'll acknowledge it. You'll send them a Simbardi. You're going to put their name on it. They'll be in the history books. No asterisk, nothing. This season matters as much as the first one and all the ones in between. And anyone who tells you different is just mad they didn't win.
Yeah, it's interesting, especially that's the key point is that they didn't win. So it'll come out after they don't win if it doesn't matter, which is interesting. But I do agree. I think that look, people get busy at all different times of the year, and obviously more towards this time of year than any time. But I mean, look, season two, season three, people go on vacation. A star player could go on vacation, whether that's Dan or whether that's QP. I remember last year, one of the best players in the league, QP. I think he had his last season. It was simmed. He was pretty much on auto because he got married. And look, I'm not faulting QP for that. But that season still counted. I think Faz won our last cycle, season of the cycle. He beat Bomber in the Super Bowl. Look,
Hmm.
that one still counted. Faz got somebody. So it just matters. And when the commentary's on, because I'm going to try commentating as many playoff games as I can as usual. And when the clock's ticking down, someone's heart rate's going to be up. Someone's going to be going for the win. There's going to be bragging rights, and it's going to be a long, extended bragging rights because we're in the middle of July by the time this thing's done. So someone's going to get to talk a lot of trash for a long time. So
Yeah, and one
go on.
one other thing I was going to mention is nothing's guaranteed. There's a new game coming out. There's no guarantee that if you're in the playoffs now that the new game is going to be a good game for you. It could play totally against what your strengths are as a Madden player. So if you're making the playoff, if you're one of the 14 teams that makes the playoffs this cycle, there's no guarantee that in Madden 24 you're going to see the same success. Yeah, guys like you and that have but there's no Meats, Tiny, AJ, these guys like me. There's no guarantee that you're going to have the same success next cycle. So heck, this could be your only shot, and you don't know it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun playoff, and there are some guys who made it this year that haven't, like Tiny in the when I look at the NFC, really the NFC has been a conference that um, how should I say this? Like, there's usually one team that'll get in that's like new every season. It seems like this cycle, and I think Tiny's that guy this season. And that leads me to second down. Who's more likely to get a playoff win, Tiny or Colt? And obviously, Colt's made the playoffs once or twice already this cycle, so he's no stranger. But he hasn't won a playoff game in a long time, or if ever in the SML. And then Tiny obviously has played one playoff game in his SML career. That was about 3 cycles ago. He played me, and we know how that ended up for him. So, who's more likely to get a playoff win?
I think this is tough. I think if these two guys played each other 100 times, it might be as close to a 50-50 split as you can get, right? I mean, they both kind of are in that same tier of players. But I want to say Tiny, but I just look at where he's at right now. If the playoffs started today, he's got Faz. Okay, he's not winning
Hmm.
that game. Let's say he bumps up a seed to the 5 seed. He's the 6 right now. Okay, then he plays QP. He's not winning that game. If he gets bumped down to the 7, he's playing Dom. He's probably not winning that one either. I think his best chance would be Bomber because he's played him so much. But if as long as Bomber wins his next game, automatically the 1 seed. So I don't see a road to a tiny win. I look over at Colt. He's sitting in a prime position. He gets to play himself. He gets to play Noel, who's sitting in the 3 seed right now. So that's a really good matchup. If he goes up a seed to the number 5, he's got Straw Blacks. If he drops down, he's got Dump. I think he could win any of those games. So he's got edge threat. He's got the quarterback. He's got the running back. I think it's got to be Colt just because of the potential matchups. I think Tiny's just in a tough spot.
Yeah, that's interesting. When I look at the, it's who they're going to play more than I think these both of these guys are similar level players. They both can get hot and win a game. We've seen Tiny have some big upsets. We've seen Colt do the same thing. But I think it's Colt as well. I'm going to try to coach in Tiny to a victory no matter who he plays. I'm going to do my best to help him out.
I know you will.
I appreciate that. But look, Colt playing Noel right now. Those guys are similar skill set. They know each other very well.
They do, yeah.
So I'm looking at Colt 45 for getting a playoff win, and depending on how things shake out, he'll either go to. I mean, he could end up in LA, I guess, maybe not, but we'll have to see how that shakes out a little bit. But moving on to third down, who are you spreading your love to?
You got a couple guys on my list. One's KJ. This guy, for as long as I've been in the league, is less than 5 wins a season generally. He's at 4 right now. But no negativity in chat, no toxicity when you play him. It's good game, good game. It's self-deprecation a little bit. But you know what? Bomber gave him kudos for wake. He was on vacation, I think, and woke up at like 8 in the morning and played Bomber on vacation. A lot of guys won't even do that. And I'm not saying you have to, but I'm just saying a guy that isn't playing for anything, has very few wins, wakes up early to play a game. I respect that. I also want to give, in the same token, I want to give some respect to Gilbert, who someone mentioned this in chat. It's the last season. His force wins going out. Gilbert's got what, 1 or 2 wins? He's got 1 win, and he's in chat fired up at missing extra points and making bad
Mm-hmm.
reads. I love the passion of a guy that's 1-14 in the last season, nothing to play for, but just has that competitive drive to want to win the game. So hats off to Gilbert. I love Gilbert. And then I just want to spread the love to the whole SML. It's been a great cycle. We've had a great group of guys. I think we've lost a few, but I think it's all been circumstance, not necessarily negativity. And I'm really looking forward to Madden 24 with this group, and I think it's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah, I'm excited. I like to spread the love to Bomber. Obviously from a competition standpoint, he's missed the playoffs 2 years in a row. Down cycle. At the time of recording this, he has a chance to clinch the number 1 seed in the AFC or NFC with a win over Rowe. So that's pretty cool to see. Just a nice rebound season. And likewise, I would like to spread the love to everybody, whether it's KJ fighting through games and not winning a lot. Same for Gilbert, or the guys who are there just constantly playing their games like you, doing it the right way. Um, uh, it's been a good cycle. We've had some ups and downs, obviously, with the blip again. But I know we're going to finish strong here in the playoffs. Playoff time is my favorite time of the year, no matter what happens. So, yeah, I'm just ready to wrap this cycle up here strong in the playoffs, and maybe take a little bit of reprieve, take a little bit of a break, and get ready for Madden 24. It's exciting. But before we get to Madden 24, there's a Super Bowl that's got to be played. And we're going to give our predictions for the Super Bowl. So who do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go AFC first. I think it's a little bit more clear. I just don't know if anyone's knocking off your Chargers. I just played you. I knew what you were gonna do on defense, but even when I thought the windows were there, I don't understand how, but they closed. It's frustrating. On defense, I played well, but there were throws that when you the throw go, I thought, oh, that's my ball. Nope, it was. I mean, Herbert was just make. I just don't know if anyone has the 28 minutes in them to beat you. They might have the lead at half after a quarter, but it's a 28-minute game, and I just don't know. I look at Dump and maybe Noel because of Freight Train and those 2 running backs, but AFC, I got the Chargers. I think most people do. NFC, a little bit of a different story. I think I've got 5 or 6 guys I'm throwing Meats in there. I don't know who's going to come out of here. I think a lot of people are probably sleeping on Faz. He's kind of in the shadows and coming off the Super Bowl loss and had some forces that is he a little bit rusty. But trust me, he hasn't forgot about that Super Bowl loss. He wants to win. He wants to make a statement going into Madden 24 because he wants that 2 or 3 week break to be about his Super Bowl win, just like all of us in the playoffs
Mm-hmm.
do. But at the end of the day, there's a sleeping giant, and he just lost today. But I think it's going to be QP. I know I've been on the Dom train, but
Wow.
and he just beat you, and now he's had a letdown against Paulie a little bit. But I think it's going to be a rematch from a couple Super Bowls ago, and I'm going to go the Chargers, and I'm going to go with the Buccaneers.
Wow. Wow. What's your prediction for that game?
I think it's going to be close. I think QP is going to literally give it everything he's got. He wants that one Simbardi for the cycle. At the end of the day, though, he's got Davis Mills, and as good as he is, Davis Mills is good until he isn't, and he will not be good for 28 minutes. And I think the Chargers are going to
Wow.
three-peat going into Madden 24.
Wow, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. So obviously, I'm super confident, but I'm not. I'm just for the sake of not picking myself. I'm going to pick someone else, and I know you have a lot of respect for a lot of members in this league, and there's a lot of talented guys, and so out of the AFC, I'm looking at Clinky. Uh, I think Clinky could be one of those deadly guys in the playoff. This is, I think, his first time making the playoffs since like he lost to Gutta pre-blip. Um, so look at Clinky as a guy who could maybe make a run at this thing and be a Super Bowl. If I don't make it, I'm looking at him. And in the NFC, I think it's Dom. Dom's playing. He's acting like he's not like, yeah, I don't love this team, yada yada yada. He is kind of focused and he's kind of dialed in and he's kind of getting his confidence and getting his cockiness back. And that win over the Chargers in week whatever it was 15, 16 kind of built him up a little bit. And I think he's gonna be able to ride that way. I know he lost to Paulie, a little emotional roller coaster, letdown game. It happens. Watch out is all I'm saying for them Cardinals. They play good football and they play playoff branded football, and I think Dom can make a run at this thing, and it'll be if I'm not in it, it'll be Dom versus Clinky.
Yeah, I love the Clink pick. He's playing really well. He's scoring a lot of points. I think he's like top 5 in points. But Dom, if I'm in the NFC, I don't want him. I don't care that he just got beat by Paulie. I don't want him. I just think QP is a silent assassin, and
Yeah,
he's in the shadows, self-deprecating himself, but he knows what he can do. We know what he can do. I think the NFC is going to be really riveting this season, especially with
it'll be
Bomber at
good.
the 1 seed. It'll be
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, that'll be good. No, if Bomber loses, it'll be like a four-way tie for the 1 seed. So who knows what
Yeah,
Madden will do? The Bomber
yeah,
just win,
right.
baby.
That's right.
Extra point. What do you got for us, Matt?
Yeah, so let's talk about teams a little bit. I know last time I still haven't gone through the force wins. I'm not doing it. That's too much arithmetic for me. But at number 5, I've got the man I just talked about, QP. I know he just lost to Meats, but those divisional games, man, it's hard to even really count those against somebody. You play, especially this time, you've played them what, like,
10,
I don't know,
12.
10,
Yeah,
12 times by now, not counting playoff games. So it's just tough. I do think QP is one of the better players in this league. I think we would all agree. Got him at number 5. At number 4, I've got Dom. Hey, that win against you was no fluke.
mm-hmm.
That was no fluke. He played a really good game. He played the full 28 minutes. That game was back and forth. It was really a pick six on a curl route by you that you threw that really altered that game. But hey, that's why we play the games. And
Yep.
when you've got two really good guys going against each other, it literally can come down to one play in the second quarter that really changes how the outcome comes. So Dom, one of the most consistent players in the SML. At number 3, I've got Bomber, who probably by a lot of accounts he's had a good cycle, but I think when you say Bomber cycle, people would expect a little bit more. And he's right back in there, man. 12-4. He's got that run defense. I think he's close to setting a record for the least amount of rushing yards allowed. I think Meat said by playing an extra game even.
Wow.
So hey, don't sleep on Bomber there. I mean, the guy's proven he can do it before, and he is back. At number 2, I've got Dump. I know a couple of times during the season on these episodes, I've left Dump off of here. Force win this, force win that. I need to see more. Hey, man, he just beat Bomber. He was down 7. Bomber had the ball at midfield, late, fumble. That's one. Okay, so that's a break, I guess. But he's got to go 50 yards the other way with a couple of minutes left to score. He scored with like 18 seconds left, went for 2, got it. Hey, man, that was all Dump. So hey, he's playing really good ball, and he's got your Colts in a good spot, 13-3,
Yeah,
and two of those losses were forces.
that's the scary thing about Dump is he is not afraid to go for the win and go for the kill, man. He's just not. And he's a guy that a lot of people would be afraid of playing in the playoffs. It's funny. I don't know if you remember. I had another undefeated run. I've had a few undefeated runs actually this cycle. More than one of my better cycles, to tell the truth. And you beat me when I was like 15-0. And do you remember what route I lost on?
It was a curl route. I user picked it.
Pick 6. I've lost 2 undefeated seasons late on left side curl routes.
That's funny. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I did. Well, guys, that is SML.
Well, wait a second here. Yeah, you're being really humble, Prime, but I didn't get to number one yet.
Oh, why? Who's number one?
Number one is the Chargers, and yeah, people could scream bias all they want, but you've got one loss, and nobody else has two. So the Chargers are there. It is your Super Bowl, your conference to win. I'm really excited. It ain't gonna be easy. Anyone who thinks it's gonna be easy, every game is in the playoffs is tough in this league. I know Straw Blacks wants another crack at you. And Clink would love to take you down for the Thanos Club, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it will be a lot of fun. It feels good to be kind of the guy with the X on the back throughout the season. It kind of gets you ready. And I feel like I've had a really tough schedule this year, so I feel like I'm playoff ready. One more go around. Hey, I'm going for that three-peat. Let's see who can take me down. Thanks, guys, for listening. Thanks, guys, for watching. Have a great day and good luck.